Hey Royals, it's our team kit day. Today's the day I show you how to make 4 awesome cards using the stamp set of the month, which is the Your Biggest Fan. If you are a team member, you have this option to get this kit for me for $10. And if you are a customer, then you can buy the stamp set for the month of May and I will send you the kit for free. Go to Hold I Flip and we'll get started. All right, let me go ahead and show you these awesome cards. Some of these have been inspired by amazing stampers, and some of them are creations of my own. I will show you both and talk about them all a little bit, but again, let me tell you a little bit about how this works. So you're watching here because you are a Royal Heart stamper, or you're watching this on YouTube later as one of my stamping friends. And as a Royal Heart stamper, you have the option to buy this kit for me for $10 in the month of May. And then you are encouraged to order your stamp set from yourself and use that to go towards your product totals. If you're a customer, you can get this for free when you order the stamp set from me this month, Your Biggest Fan. This is an awesome, awesome one that's perfect for Father's Day or any of your sports-loving friends you want to stamp for. Has lots of great images. We're going to be using a handful of these in our creations today. Let me show you each card and then we'll get started. So this is the first one we'll do, which is the awesome one that's inspired by an artisan team member. They use a different color of card base, but I just love this layout and the look for this one. And I wanted to show you something a little bit different because you can see these ones are mostly masculine and uses that DSP, which is more of a dark blues and dark greens and yellows. And this one's definitely a lot lighter and a little bit more fun. So I'll show you how to make this one. And then we have the second one where I've used the picture this dies and we've created these cool looking baseball look to this one, and also using the designer series paper. This one I love. It is so fun. It looks totally American with the flag here, and that's using mostly the designer series paper to create this awesome look for this one. Lastly is our most simple one. It says Most Valuable Dad, and mostly we're just using a little bit of DSP with some of the baker's twine and this fun ticket here to create a border. All right, let me go ahead and get everything ready and in view for you guys and show you what you'll need to make this card. So again, we are starting with this one here, which I just love. This one is so fun. There's so many die cut pieces on this, but it is a little bit easier than you think. It's mostly just die cutting and gluing with a little bit of stamping. This is definitely expert level as far as skill level goes and design goes. So we'll start with that one first because it might be the hardest. Before we get too far ahead, I do want to show you the sport event dies. These are the dies that we are using in today's kit that coordinate with the stamp set Your Biggest Fan. So this one, let me show you some of them. We have like the pendant in the large shape here. Then we also have the little end of the flag. I'm not sure what to call that piece there, so we'll just call it the end of the pendant. Then we have a smaller pendant size with also its little flag end right there. We have stars. You can create 4 different ticket sizes. So we have this large ticket here that has it on both ends. This fun ticket shape there that has a top and bottom ticket. This one that looks like an actual like raffle ticket size. And then this one's like a strip of mini tickets here. So really awesome dies. And then we have our number 1 circle, and then these two here, there should be 1, 2, there we go, our arrow cutting ones. Those actually don't cut out, but more of just leave an impression of cuts, if that makes any sense. We'll show you in a little bit in the next card. Okay, so those are the dies, and then we're using a lot of the DSP, which is the Hey Sports Fan Designer Series paper. This card is not, but I'll show you the other ones in just a minute. All right, of course, I have all of the information over on my blog, so if you want to read about it or have the measurements handy, check that out after you're watching this video to help you out with any of those. In your kit, you will get a smoky slate card base. Go ahead and grab your bone folder and crease that a little bit better. I always send them just loosely folded and not nice and crisp. All right, so there's our card base, which is that smoky slate. Then we'll need a smoky slate 4 by 5 1/4 that we'll attach here in just a little bit, but not yet. We'll move that aside. Then you'll be given 9 little tickets. So here we have them all cut out. These are those cool little ticket sizes. I love that they have the cutout and then they have the little stitching here too to create that ticket look. Go ahead and play with this a little bit and see where you want to place them. Give you kind of an idea. You want 3 rows of 3. And it's okay to have some overlapping off the edge because we are going to cut the extra off. You just don't want them to be lined up so that they are right next to each other. So kind of like layering bricks or tiles, having them going at an angle there. And this is just to give us a feel of what we want it to look like. This isn't the actual placement. Once you have that lined up, go ahead and grab your liquid glue and we're going to attach. We're going to start on either left or right side. You could pick your favorite side. I'm going to start with the left. Flip it over, put just a little bit of the liquid glue on that bottom piece here. Not the top because we'll end up cutting some of that off. And go ahead and attach. You want to create a little bit of border room here on the left side. So keep that available. This one we can put glue on the whole back of it. And slide it down. Use that top one as a reference of where you want this one to line up to create that side border. And then the last one here. We'll go right about there. So this one will just have us cut off just a little bit, not too much. Looks good. Then skip the middle and go to the far right. Grab the back of it, your glue, and put on the back of your ticket and attach. Again, create a little bit of that border there on the side. It's about maybe 1/8 of an inch there, just the tiniest little border. Try to keep it straight. There we go. Grab the next ticket and add that one on. Just going a little bit below and lining up straight below. Next, grab our last one. Again, just do the top for the glue for this one because this bottom half is going to hang off and we don't want to get our workspace too sticky. Not with our first project, at least. All right, now that we have those two glued on, we can work on our centers. So I'm going to remove those and just do a little bit of glue on the very bottom of this one. Then we're going to put that by looking at each spacing now on the left and right to make sure it looks like it's evenly spaced and push it down. Now we can go ahead with the next one right below it. Just about like there. We're using liquid glue because I want to be able to place it down and move it if needed. And as you can tell, I needed. Okay, a little bit of glue there. And this one will come right here. Awesome. See? Not too bad, right? Look at that cool background we've created using those 9 tickets. Go and flip it over. And we're going to cut off the excess here. Just where it's overlapping. And we don't need those. If you're making lots of these cards, you could save those for like these parts here, but we wouldn't need a whole ticket size for. Or throw them away if you're just using the one. There we go. And there's our really awesome looking background using the cardstock and the tickets. Next, let's do some stamping. Let's put my glue away for a hot minute. And what we have here is the largest ticket. So I've cut it just a little bit over. So here's another size of it so you can kind of see. And the full size of it, like I said, this one is huge, is this big. So as you can tell, we probably have maybe 2.5 inches on that one, maybe 3. This one's maybe 1.25 inches. So not very long. We don't need a whole lot of this piece. So I'm going to use this one, in fact, and you'll see when I die cut this one out, I just did it on the edge of a piece of basic white. So I went like that. So that was my straight edge there. But this part we're going to hide underneath and you won't be able to see it. So it is okay. we are going to grab our Coastal Cabana ink for this part. And if you want, grab a foam mat. I think this one's small enough, I might be able to get away with it. For this one, you could either use the Your Amazing Happy Birthday or even Happy Father's Day. I would probably change up the colors a little bit because I don't know if your dads are into pink a lot, but we'll do the Hooray. Let's change this one up and do Happy Birthday. Hooray, Happy Birthday. So I have Your Amazing, but I'm going to switch it out. Here's what the inside of it looks like. I'm going to place this one right here, and I'm going to grab the Happy Birthday. Oh, that's Happy Father's Day. Here's my Happy Birthday. And attach that now to my clear block, just like that. Super easy to switch out and then put away when we're not using it. Go ahead and ink that up in your Coastal Cabana. I usually like to do a practice stamp when it's fresh, and I haven't used this one recently. That turned out pretty good, so I just have a post-it note right there handy. Ink it up again and put its center, low center on this tag. Or ticket. Super, love it. Oh, let's keep that out. Let's grab our pendant now. We're going to go ahead and stamp some little stars on here. We have the cute little 3 stars right there. Grab it. And for this one, we're actually going to stamp off, and then we'll stamp our stars on. I just want these to be very light. And this is the easy way to create a little bit of background, but not having it to be too overwhelming. Oh, I love it. So I did 3 of those on our pendant and just kind of in a triangle form there. Okay, that's it for stamping there. Then I have a pre-stamped Hooray that I did on a piece of basic white. This is about 1 inch by 2 inches worth. We're gonna take our paper snips and I'm gonna fussy cut this out. We'll just take our scissors and follow along where we stamped in the polished pink. Around just like that. Move your paper, not your scissors as much. Is my huge tip to you. And you can go as close as you want to your letters or create more of an outline. For our O's, we'll even dip in for our O's a little bit, make it kind of rounded, and come back on the top of our H. And fairly quickly, we have our Hooray has been cut out. Love it. All right, this one, go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back side. I'm going to grab a little bit of my small ones. I just have the ends here. So I'm going to just cut off a little piece because the Hooray is pretty small once it's been fussy cut. I'll put one right there on that end and one more on this end there. All right, now we can attach that to our pendant at kind of an angle. We also need to glue on our So Saffron flag in. What I like to do for this one is actually put the glue on the pendant itself. So I'm going to put a little bit on that line there and a little straight line along the bottom. Flip that over and attach it. That looks good so far. These right here have been die cut out from that Sports Events dies using the So Saffron and the polished pink. And then I've punched out with an old 1-inch circle punch these circles here. We're going to go ahead and glue those onto their matching or non-matching circle backs. You just need a little bit of glue on each of these spots here. About 3 points is what you'll need. We're going to glue that one onto the basic white for the polished pink. The fun thing about this is that it totally does cut out that little number sign and the 1. So you can make fun confetti with that if you wanted to. Use it for another project. Right now we're just using the negative to create that cool looking circles there. Okay, clean up a little bit. I think that is it. Now all we need to do is attach. So we'll grab our first, this fun piece here. All the tickets, flip it over, and let's glue that onto our card base. Get that about centered, creating borders on all ends. Perfect. Then we're going to go ahead and put dimensionals on the back of our pendant here. Let's grab, I have some larger ones I had handy. Let me see if I can find them. Of course, they're under all the things on my table. All right, for this one, we only want dimensionals on the top. So I'm going to flip it over. I know this is the top of my pendant. And then we're going to remove the backings and place it on our card. I like to have it at just about 3/4 of the way up on our card and have it kind of look like it's waving. And then we're going to add our happy birthday. For this one, we're just going to put a little bit of liquid glue on the top. Just a little bit. We don't need too much. And then we're going to slide it underneath our pendant here. Remember, we don't have dimensionals on the bottom, so we should have some wiggle room of how we can attach this part here. Just like that. Hooray, happy birthday. Love it. Then let's grab our little circles. We're going to grab some dimensionals again, but this time we're going to use our minis. I'm almost out of my minis, so we'll cut some along the edge. And for this one, we don't want to put a dimensional on the bottom of this top one. So we'll flip it over, put one dimensional close to the edge of the top, and flip it and stick it on the top here. Because this one has dimensionals, so we don't need anything on that one. If you're concerned about this being kind of flappy, you can add some liquid glue or a glue dot right there to help secure that part down. We're going to do the opposite for this one. So this time we're going to put it on the bottom of the circle instead of the top. Remove the backing, and then we can attach it right here. All right. And that's pretty much it. All we have to do is embellish this one. For this one, I used the classic matte dots. I have 4 more, which technically I usually like to have 5 of these. So we'll just pretend that that I have 5. And we'll just put them all over in some fun and random places. And one more there. All right, super cute. Look at that. All of those layers and texture. And we have the hooray, you're amazing, or the hooray, happy birthday. Totally your choice of which one you need more of. All right, let's go on to our next card. We'll do a quick little cleanup our area. Okay. Our next one we'll be making is definitely a fun baseball themed card. Between our baseball looking circles here and our saying, hope your day is a grand slam, it definitely screams baseball. So hopefully you know someone that loves it and you can make this card for them. So I'm using a very vanilla as my card base, Poppy Parade as my mat, and then we have our DSP. For the DSP, what I've done is I've die cutted with my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with a picture of this dies, which what it does is you have the paper there, you put the die on it, and it cuts all of these circles with one time. It's like a group or cluster of circles. So what we're going to do is go ahead and glue that onto our mat here. I'm just going all around these circles. And attach it so that there's a border on each one. Okay, looking pretty good. For this one, I remained having those circles flat. If you want, you can have these pop up by putting a dimensional underneath it, and it'll make it stand off your paper more so. If you even want to, you can go like a puzzle piece. And if you didn't want this one to be a baseball theme and just more of a sports theme, you could turn this into a puzzle and match it where it was, and then you could add a dimensional on here. So I could put a dimensional on there and just create that fun looking pop look, depending on what you want. You would do the same thing and just figure out where it matches on the puzzle piece and put them back. What do you guys think? Should I do baseball still or should I puzzle piece it? Let's see. I think we'll do baseball still. However, I think I'm going to flip over this one and add it with dimensional. So we'll put at least 2 dimensionals on this one. I'm going to make sure it's matching. Looks good there. Oh, I like that. I like that pop. Just changes it ever so slightly. And then we have these other pieces here. So I could continue going, and then I could use that one and have it flat down. Should we do another pop-up one? Let's do one more pop-up. So if I have my baseball lines going this way, I'm going to make sure I turn the next one right beside it so they're not going the same direction. There we go. I can put that yay back in and create a flag like there if we wanted to. Lots of different choices for this one. This one I think I'm just going to glue down. I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue here, 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 and here. We'll put that one down. Let's grab this guy. Again, just watching which way our little ball shapes are going. And that one, our last one, having it going about that direction. Okay. Now we can go ahead and attach this piece to our card base and get ready for our stamping. Poppy Parade is the color of choice I have for this one because that's what matches the designer series paper, so it was easy for me to pick. All right, so I have the very vanilla little strip of paper here, and we're gonna grab our Hope Your Day's a Grand Slam stamp and the Night of Navy. So this one I cut pretty small, so you have to angle it just right in order for it to fit on our strip here, or it's okay if you have little pieces of it not fitting on. So I'll kind of show you. So we're gonna go and turn it so that's gonna fit on there. I'll make sure I have I Hope Your Day is on there nicely. And there we go. Let's see how that turned out. Oh, that's pretty good. I like it. So just that very bottom, you'll see like a little bit missing, but that's totally fine. Put our ink away and grab our mat. I'll flip this one over. And if I'd messed up, I would have totally just flipped this over and tried again. If I messed up again, I could have just cut another piece of paper. So it's okay to make mistakes, and oftentimes I do. There we go. That looks really nice already. Then I have, that goes along with this suite, is the Fan Baker's Twine. So it's 3 different colors of twine. This one has 2 colors in one. We're going to grab the blue shade, which is actually the Retired Misty Moonlight. So the fun thing about these catalogs is that sometimes they overlap. We had retiring colors, but this doesn't retire till the end of June, this twine. So we still have a little bit of Misty Moonlight hanging on. I'm going to wrap this around about 3 times, and then we can tie a bow. I think I measured it once. It's about 18 inches. And that's a floppy, crazy bow, so we're going to just fix it just a little bit by holding the knot and pulling at our ends. And then we can always trim as needed as well. Good. We'll do just a quick trim on this side. Flip that over, add dimensionals to the back. You'll need at least 3, if not more. I'm going to slide one right here on the very edge. If you need to, you can even slide your twine over a little bit more. And then we're going to put one in the center and one on the very end. Remove the backings and flip it. Put it just about there. Lastly, using the dies, I've die cut out some of these little stars here to embellish with. So that's a great way to make your own embellishments. There are some amazing resin stars you could add to this as well. It's part of the suite. Or you can make your own embellishments. So what I like to do is put just a little bit of liquid glue on the places, like a dot, that I want to add my stars. Do a couple stars here and there, and one there. Let me grab my take a pick tool because that'll make it easier. So here's my take a pick tool. I'm going to go ahead and take off the top, and you'll see that it has this little spot here. Mine's looking a little bit loved. So let me show you how I just pull it off to remove it, turn it, and I'm able to press forward some more of that putty. And that's as simple as it is. Grab our stars now, put them on those little glue spots we've created. And there's different sizes and shapes, so just pick which ones work the best for you and the placement that we're putting them. There. This one I use actually the Daffodil Delight shade of yellow. I definitely like this darker Crushed Curry for this card at least. There you go. Now anything left over you can use to put on the inside as confetti for when they open the card. All right, there it is. Super fun and a cool way to flip over that paper and just fill in the spots that we had already die cut out using the same shapes there. Oh, I think I do like them on the dimensionals though, just to pop them up and look more ball-like. This one still is pretty cool, but just for different reasons. All right, let's go ahead and to our next card, which is the American flag looking one. This one's so cool and it uses so much DSP. I do want to give the quick warning that this part just retired. This is one of my really cool stars from the, I want to call it the Stitch Stars, sorry, dies is what this is from, that just retired from our recent new catalog switchover on the 3rd of May. So if you don't have that in your collection, I'm so sorry. You can try to making some other stars with either the dies that we just used, like these little guys, and put them on there. But I just thought it made it look super nice, and so I couldn't resist since I had it. And if you're getting this kit from me, you will get those in yours. Okay, so I'm using the Night and Navy as my card base. And then I have pieces of designer series paper, and that's pretty much it to make our flag. We just have these pieces of paper that we'll glue on, and they will create that cool look. Let me go ahead and turn this a little bit, grab my bone folder. If I can find, I have another version of the flag card that's a little bit different, but the same idea, using the DSP from this suite here. Okay, let's grab our liquid glue and we can start attaching. So we're having this cover up the whole card front, so there's no border on this one. So line that up to your bottom corner, to your top corner, and lay it in. Let's grab a line of glue on the back of our little yellow one, our stars. And line that up right there. Go. And lastly, flip over your stripey side, which has like a baseball catcher's mitt and mittens on this side. Still a really cool piece of paper, but we're going to use the stripes. You just want to be mindful when you do cut out these ones that you know which direction to cut, so that way your stripes are going the right way. You don't want your stripes going up and down, but across. All right. While we're here, let's go ahead and add this easy detail of our stars. I'm going to cut out these little pieces here. I should grab my silicone mat out. Let me grab that real quick to help avoid some sticky situations. Ooh, I did not put it back where it belongs, and so it is not near me. We'll just have to be extra careful as we're adding glue to this one. Right? Right, we can be careful. All right, in fact, we'll just use it on my hand. So I'm just do a little bit of glue on some of the bigger spots on here. It doesn't need a lot. That's why I love this little tip here on this glue, the multi-purpose liquid glue. You know, I take off the label so you can't tell what it is because that label gets sticky. This is how you can tell that I'm like halfway through with this glue, because that label's already off. And we'll go ahead and just glue it down like so. Let's grab something heavy. There we go, to help lay it flat, and it will dry. All right, while that's drying, let's go ahead and do our stamping. We also need that Knighted Navy again, and we're gonna do the You're Amazing. I think I'd put that one away. Yep, so we could do Happy Father's Day. It would be a really cool one with this one. Father's Day is pretty close to Flag Day. Changing it. We're doing a Father's Day card. You can do whatever one you want. It's totally up to you. But I just thought that would be fun. So my dad's birthday is actually really close to Father's Day, so I always have to have 2 cards ready for him. Father's and birthday. Happy Father's Day. And he is a retired from the Army. Yeah, he retired, oh my goodness, a couple years ago. Almost more than 20 years ago now. Wow, it's been that long. Okay, let's get that ready and stamp on our ticket. Oh, I made it a little bit sloppy there. See that? I could do a couple of things. I think I won't attach this one, so I'll continue showing how to make it, and I'll die cut one out later. But I'll just give you the gist of how it should look. That works for me. Because I don't want, this one's one of the ones you can't flip over because it's a die cut, but that happy is not looking very happy. I didn't press down nearly hard enough. I think my paper was too bent for me, so I needed to make sure it lays a little flat. But while we have it here, let me show you those 2 pieces here that I use that die to cut out just little slits there that have cool arrows. That's what I want to say. One looks like it's pointing that direction and one's going that direction. Super, super cool ticket look. Okay, so now what we would do, which we'll continue doing. So I have an extra ticket here, which I didn't put on this one. And then I have these other ticket options. These have been die cut out of our DSP. So this is a very much DSP Designer Series paper tile card. And we could either put them on there like this and have it layered with the red one, the mint one, or we could do that green one. I do like that little bit of extra yellow behind it. So that one again does not have it, but this one will. So that's how that one will look. And let me grab our card back in here. I would attach this with dimensionals right onto here. And we'd grab our twine and make a double bow. So for a double bow, I usually go about double the amount I would need for just a single bow. And then I'll fold it in half, about like that. Cut one in. I usually will keep this part in the loop still. I'll make one loop here, another loop there, and tie it in a bow. Hold on, got a little messy. You gotta keep those bows tight so that they're easy to loop around. Nope, hold on. You might need a little bit more twine or make my bows bigger. There we go, that should be easier to work with. And then we're gonna pull the double bow through. There we go. Cutoff is in here. And then you can just play with this so it's the shape and size that you want it to be. Then when it's ready, you go ahead and trim it off, the excess. Use a glue dot, and then you can attach it right there to our ticket. So I'm not going to attach this one because I want to restamp that ticket before I finish this card. There we go. Let me carefully lift it up so you can kind of see. That's the idea of what we want this one to look like. Super, super cute. I love that extra little ticket behind there and the options to do different colors depending on what DSP we choose. Okay, let's set these ones aside and we'll get to our last one. Our last one is definitely the easiest. It's another most valuable dad card. Super fun, but easy. The thing I like about this one is this really cool ticket border we've created. Let me show you how to do that. I'm using the Evening Evergreen as my card base. And then a little piece of the Designer Series paper. You'll see on the back side has the yellow and the Very Vanilla there. We have some Very Vanilla because that's the same color that we have on our DSP. There we go. Here's our bone folder. We got that. Let's go ahead and do our stamping on this one before we attach anything and we have it ready. We're using the Evening Evergreen and the Most Valuable Dad. Get that back in view. So ink that up nice. Stamp it in the bottom right corner. Perfect. Then there's this awesome looking like splatter stamp. You can grab that. See, it's kind of like a little ink spot. Put it right in the top left corner. Don't stamp it again or ink it again, and then we'll stamp it again to kind of create like a border around those words there. Okay, put your ink away, grab your tickets and your DSP. So I have 3 tickets here. I only need actually like 1.5. So we'll flip this over. We're gonna put some liquid glue on the back side of our ticket here. Sorry, back side of our DSP. Just pick a side, it doesn't matter which one, as long as it's the long side, not our short side of this. And we'll grab our ticket and have it facing down and put it right over that piece of glue. You're gonna make sure you line up your bottom and then you flip it over. I like to kind of, there we go, see how crooked that is? Now we can go ahead and kind of just push and shimmy that just to make it the size we want it to be. The first one I did, I had left it just the tiniest little border. This one I'm going to make it a little bit thicker so you can see it better, like that. Okay, then we'll line this one up, again facing down. I might need to add a little bit more glue if I smeared that one too much. I'm just going to line it up against where this one is, just to continue it on, and that should be fairly straight on this side. Yeah. Grab your paper snips, cut off the extra, going straight along that edge as your guide, and there we go. We have this really cool border now on our back of our DSP using those little tickets there. Super cool trick. Go ahead and grab now your Fan Baker's Twine with the Evening Evergreen and wrap it around. We're going to make it about just one time around, but we need to have enough bottom room to tie a knot. I tried tying a bow on this one and I just didn't love it. So when you don't love the bow on a card you're making, feel free to make it a bow knot instead, which works great when you're doing masculine cards or even girly cards too. All right, let's go ahead and do at least one knot. Shimmy that over back to where you want it. And this one here. And you just be careful not to pull your knot too tight or else it will make the paper bow and bend in a way we don't want it. Okay, grab my ends and we'll tie one more knot. So a double knot here. There we go, I love it. Grab our ends and trim it. Then what I like to do is to fray and separate the end of my twine to make this a little bit more fuller bow. So I'm going to take them and just start to like separate them from each other. Depending on how thick you want, there's usually about 3 strands in this twine here. And just kind of fray it out. See how crazy that looks now? We'll do the same thing to the other side. Like that. Cool. All right. So you have a choice now to either use dimensionals on the back or the liquid glue. I did dimensionals on this one because usually when there's twine, it already naturally will bow. You see where it's not going to lay flat because it's just a little bit thicker there, which we can probably get away with. Let's go ahead and try that. Let's do the liquid glue this time so we can kind of see the difference. That first one, like I said, I use the dimensionals to pop up this piece here. I'm going to do a little bit of dots of liquid glue on our tickets there to help that lay flat too. Flip it over, line it up to the corner to corner. And there we go. Press down for a little bit. Then we can flip this one over and add some of the liquid glue to the back of it and add it to our card base. Let's give it nice and even on all 4 sides. That looks cute. All right, for this one, I've used the embellishment, which is from the new, well, these are the old in colors, but a new embellishment. Let me see if I can find that really quick. I think I tossed it aside earlier. There it is. Yeah, it's called the Opal Rounds in the 2021 and 2023 in colors. So we'll just grab one of these guys, and I'll send these in the kit so you can see them too. I like to use the larger one. Just careful not to get it stuck in your nail. And set it right there by your dad. Oh, I love it. Look, see, it has just a little bit of sparkle in it, but it still is really, really cool. Love it, love it. All right, let me get all the cards back in so you can see them again. Of course, there's my Father's Day one that I'm going to finish when I die cut this one out again, and the flag, or the You're Amazing flag one. We have the Hope Your Day's a Grand Slam with that baseball theme for our designer series paper. And then the one that's a little bit different from all, but is still really amazing and shows you how to use those dies and create a really cool background, is our Hooray Happy Birthday or Hooray You're Amazing. All right, you guys, I hope you've had fun learning how to play with the Your Biggest Fan stamp set. Please add it to your order in the month of May, and I will send you this kit for free. Comment on my YouTube so I can see what your thoughts and feelings about this are and which one's your favorite. It's always fun when I make 4 cards and see which one you like, and it's okay not to like it all, but I bet you like one more than the other. It's okay to have favorites. They're not kids. All right, you guys have a great, great day. Happy stamping, everyone, and I'll stamp with you later. Bye.